The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom isn't just a video game. It's something that makes you believe in the impossible and to even achieve the impossible. Welcome back to Autobot Dawson Gaming, everyone, and today I'm doing something that I usually don't do a whole lot on the channel. I have been known to post retrospectives and reviews from time to time. Certainly not the main content of the channel. Usually that's streams and videos and various other things, but Tears of the Kingdom deserves to have a review up on this channel because I love to keep this channel positive, and there's not a game I can think of more positive things to say, especially in 2023, than this game, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to be keeping the camera right here on screen, doing this review live. Reason being is I want to keep it completely as spoiler-free as possible, and I've learned that everyone has kind of got a different definition of that. So because of that, I don't want to show any of my gameplay footage during the review. There's a lot of other reviews out there that already have that, so I'm sure people have seen or experienced all there is to know about the abilities and things like that at this point. So I don't feel a need to show that, rather than to just have a nice conversation here with you guys and let you know my thoughts on the game. So if you do enjoy it, I appreciate that. So, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. What did I mean in my intro when I said achieve the impossible? Well, it's kind of a double meaning for this review. Not only did Nintendo achieve the impossible by creating this game, in fact, to the point that I can't even believe I'm even playing it, but also the game itself allows the player to achieve the impossible. So let's start with the player side of things, okay? I could go on and on and on about this game for hours, so much so that I've even debated doing like a one-off podcast talking about this with some members of the community, and we may still do that. But for the sake of this review, I obviously can't go on forever. So what I do want to say is that the abilities, Ultra Hand, Fuse, Recall, and Ascend are the beating heart of this game in terms of its mechanics. Everything revolves around these four core abilities that you get in the tutorial area in the Great Sky Island. And what's incredible is these four abilities, they actually work, and they're game-breaking. A couple of them, Nintendo even said themselves, were a dev tool, and they thought, what better quantifies The Legend of Zelda's spirit of adventure than by literally giving the player these developer godlike tools in this world that allows them complete freedom. You see, the traditional Zelda formula was there's only one correct way to solve a puzzle. However, when you do it, it's so satisfying, it still feels like you're the first person to do so. And then Breath of the Wild challenged that and said, there's actually a couple different ways you can solve it. Well, Tears of the Kingdom takes that to a whole other stratosphere, okay? Blows it out of the water. Now, there's no telling how many solutions. It's unquantifiable sometimes how many different solutions there are for a problem. The whole overworld has puzzles. There's puzzles in the shrines. There's puzzles in the Divine Beast equivalents, we'll call them. I don't want to spoil what they're called for anyone. In traditional Zelda, those kind of areas are called dungeons, so I'll refer to them as dungeons, which are a huge improvement over the Divine Beast, by the way, here in this game. In the dungeons, there's a ton of different solutions. You can choose to use Ultra Hand to build a bridge and go across. Or you can put a rocket, a Zonai rocket, on your shield and just fly up and paraglide over. Or you can use Recall on a moving object and simply ride it and rewind it back in time to get there. There's no explaining how the possibilities are so unbelievably endless. Not just in puzzle solving, but in combat and traversal. Now, I've noticed some people online who maybe don't fully grasp yet just how freeing combat is. But you can do this crazy stuff in combat, guys. And I'm not just talking about the amazing ability of fusing stuff to your arrow, which is amazing. Nothing feels better than you fuse a muddle bug in it and it confuses enemies, or you fuse a monster eyeball and now it tracks to the head of the monster. It's amazing. But I'm talking about utilizing these crazy rocket shields and glider shields and vehicles in combat in ways that allow you to traverse just in unbelievable ways. I have a couple videos up on the channel that show me literally using Ascend through bosses to get on top of their head to their weak point and just finish them off right then and there. It's unbelievable. No other game has achieved this level of freedom, in my opinion, on this scale, in a way of the combat is free, the exploration is free, the puzzle solving is free, the map itself. These are all like sandbox game like qualities that you have that work smoothly inside of an actual open world video game that has a story. It's really unbelievable. And the fact that it's on the Nintendo Switch means it can fit in your pocket. Now listen, I'll say right off the bat, because I want to get this out of the way, I know that people are going to ask questions about this. They do in every review of this game. Does the Nintendo Switch hardware hold up? Look, I'll be honest, I'm not a hardware guy. I never have been. I judge a game more on its design than its performance, or its, unless the performance is so terrible you can't actually enjoy the game. We've seen examples of that. Definitely not the case here. So I'm maybe not the best judge of performance or graphical fidelity because it's not something at the top of mind. I applaud, clever design more so than I do graphical fidelity. To me, there's some games that look graphically amazing but feel empty. And there's other games that maybe don't look graphically super realistic or whatever, but they have amazing gameplay mechanics. Tears of the Kingdom didn't give me any major performance issues at all. It never dropped frame rate in a moment that I felt was critical or crucial to the game. And in fact, this is a bit of a spoiler here. I'm sure most people know about this by now, but just in case, come back in like a minute if you want to avoid spoilers about the map. Okay, here we go. Nintendo showed us that we have the sky in the trailer, but not only do they have the sky, the completely changed surface of Hyrule, where, yes, everything is technically the map from Breath of the Wild, but a lot more stuff to do, a lot of different changes to the environment. But we also have the underground depths, which I don't want to talk about too long due to spoilers, but it's this huge, expansive, dark underworld that feels threatening even when the music hits. It's threatening down there. It's scary down there, and it's a complete contrast to the beautiful sights that you see in the sky. You're able to dive all the way from the top of the sky to the bottom of the depths without even getting a loading screen most of the time, and just completely seamlessly in the open world. It's pretty amazing that something like that fits in your pocket. A game like Elden Ring I loved and was a great open world game. This game's traversal puts it to absolute shame in terms of player freedom. If player freedom is a big deal for you, you need to play this game. You don't want to play this game, you need to play this game. It's a masterpiece. I can't think of anything bad to say about it, honestly. Like, some people may have small gripes, but at the end of the day, this is still going to be a 10 out of 10 game for almost everyone. It appeals to all different kinds of players. You can play the game however you want, like Breath of the Wild, but what it does is this game does something that's so rare in gaming today. It takes a good concept and it polishes it, but it also expands upon it. It makes it feel like an actual step forward, a huge leap forward, I should say, more than a step. I never thought I would like a single-player game more than Ocarina of Time, another Zelda classic. This game right now is my favorite video game of all time, my favorite single-player video game of all time. It is breathtaking. With Ultra Hand, you're able to build an unlimited amount of things. It's actually kind of mind-blowing, the different creations you can do. You may see on the channel, I literally built an Optimus Prime lookalike out of just some nearby parts. I mean, it's really unbelievable. And then with the Zonai devices, you can even carry devices around with you and build on the go. Truly amazing. But the great thing is, you see, a lot of people may think, oh, well, is this game just building? No. You can interact with that as little or as much as you want. You never have to build something crazy. You never have to build something, a huge vehicle with moving parts and everything. You simply can if you want to. There's solutions around everything. You can climb over a mountain like you did in Breath of the Wild, or you can find a nearby cave and use your ascend ability and just pop out the top. You can, go to a Skyview tower, launch yourself up, and fly to a sky island that way. Or you can use rewind on a nearby falling piece of debris and literally rewind time on that debris, flying yourself all the way up to the sky island almost instantly. You can use weapons until they break and then get more weapons. Or you can fuse powerful parts from monsters onto your weapons and give them different element affinities or better durability or better attack. The possibilities are seriously endless. You can fuse a mushroom onto a weapon and make it knock enemies back. You can fuse a spring onto a shield and get a free jump so you can access your bow in combat and stop in midair. You can do the same thing with a rocket. Seriously, the abilities are absolutely amazing. And they're able to do these crazy abilities because they took the rock-hard foundation that Breath of the Wild had, and they just turned everything up to 11 in the best way possible. Nintendo had faith in their player base in this game. Something a lot of developers are going to look at this game and think, oh, well, now we need building, or now we need weapon fusion. And maybe that's not the lesson Nintendo wanted you to get here. The lesson developers need to get from Nintendo on this game is believe in your player base. Give them the tools to make the game fun, and they will make the game fun. I am having a blast in this game because Nintendo believes that I will have a blast in this game. What do I mean by that? Again, with Achieve the Impossible. I look at a situation and I think, wait a minute, can I really, solve this puzzle this way? And then you can. Very rarely do you ever run into something you can't do in this game. It's like I was telling you, ascending through a boss to attack its eyeball, right? The first time it happened, I was like, wait a minute. Can I actually do this? And I tried it, and sure enough, it works. And the best thing about it, this is maybe a third way they've achieved the impossible, or rather, this is back to that second way where I'm talking about with Nintendo, with the actual development of the game. Not only is it fitting on the Switch, unbelievably impressive, the fact that this huge game is handheld, but also take this into consideration, you guys. Not only are these mechanics present, and they work, but they don't break this video game. I'm sorry, but I've played a lot of video games in my life, and something like being able to just go through any ceiling or take any lighting fixture off the wall or rock off the ground and build a fully functional vehicle and drive around the map and then dive from the sky to the surface with said vehicle, that kind of thing, a rewinding time, these kind of abilities, these kind of godlike powers that they've given Link in this game, they would break other video games. They would still be fun, but they would run into problems. There'd be a time where you'd use Ascend and you'd pop out in an area that's not fully developed or an area that's not actually in the game, and oh crap, now I got to go back or reload. This does not happen in this game. I've put about 70 hours into the game, including a 24-hour stream on day one where I played for 24 hours straight. Unfortunately, I had to go to my full-time job the next morning, but honestly, I wasn't that tired just because I was so excited about how good the game was. Beyond the point, even playing for 24 hours in a row, okay, consecutively running this machine for 24 hours and using the abilities like crazy, going through the different dungeons, I didn't run into a single problem, a single game-breaking glitch or bug. This game came out polished, it came out clean, it came out masterful, and it came out when Nintendo said it was ready. We kept getting frustrated. Oh my gosh, it's delayed. Like, oh, we've been waiting so long. Zelda games take so long to make now. And you know what? This game has made me fully go down to the side of that battle that says, take all the time you need. In fact, games need to take longer. This game was in the oven for just the right amount of time, and it shows. Because in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, we have the rock-hard foundation of Breath of the Wild's combat and open world freedom combined with absolutely complete player freedom in the form of the abilities. and in the form of the puzzle design and the map design and the scale of this amazing interpretation of Hyrule with a vastly improved story that, while I won't spoil, goes back to Zelda's roots in a lot of ways, in the most beautiful ways, and goes to exciting new territory with great performances from voice actors. And if you'd like to hear from one of those voice actors, I do have an interview up on the channel from one of them as well, Heather Gonzalez. I don't want to spoil what character she plays in case you don't want to know, but it's truly, it's like the stars were aligned for this game, ladies and gentlemen. The stars were aligned. The world feels alive. The player feels free. The game looks amazing. It fits in your pocket. It's unbelievable. Nintendo truly achieved the impossible by letting the player have the power to achieve the impossible. Think about the power of that statement, you guys, and think about what that means for the future of video games. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this is Autobot Dawson, rolling out.